Mikael Gatje.
They say there is healing. I don't know about that. They say men shouldn't do it. Why shouldn't we? They say men don't express their feelings. And then they say we shouldn't cry. Why? For me it's strange. A couple of years ago, I came home to Sweden in June, on the 8th of June. It was my little sister's birthday. She's not so little, but it was my little sister's birthday. When I came home, my father was laying on the sofa in pain. My father had back pain his whole life. It wasn't strange to see Dad with back pain. But it was strange to see my father crying. It was strange to see my father crying because he had so much pain and was feeling so helpless. He couldn't stand up. He couldn't even tilt out of the sofa. I called an ambulance. I called an ambulance for Dad. We went to the hospital and my father got morphine. And almost before it was confirmed, we were told that most likely my father had cancer. It took a little time with all the investigations that needs to be done, all the biopsies, all the x-rays that needs to be done. But I wasn't really surprised. My father had been smoking for his whole life. He had lung cancer. And the lung cancer had spread in his whole body. He had lung cancer in his vertebrae, in his head, in his arms. It's not hard to realize that my father was heartbroken. He didn't know what to do. He had such a hard time understanding that he was dying. He was. My father, my hero, was dying. My dad wanted me to be the one who spoke with the doctor, so I did. And I asked the doctor the question that everybody asked the doctor. What can we do? How long does he have? And she says, I can't speculate. I can't speculate. It's gone very far. And I would be really surprised if your father sees another Christmas. It's hard to see somebody you've grown up with, somebody who's been such pillar in your life, crumble together in the way that my father did. He was lucid at times, but most of the times he was so drugged that he didn't know his own name. He didn't know me, he didn't know my sister, he didn't know my mother. But when he was lucid, he said, Michael, the only thing I really, really want to do, I want to live until the 1st of February. Because on the 1st of February, your mother and I have been married for 50 years. That was his only wish. But you don't always get what you're asking for. I was home and I was with my father for a little bit more than a month. I got extra vacation, I stayed home. And I was there, and during his lucid times I spoke to him, and when he had to sleep, I was sitting in the waiting room. I spent basically a month in the hospital. And after a month, I had to go. I had to leave. I had to say goodbye to my father for the last time that he would ever be aware of. I don't know how aware he was. I was very aware of the fact that I said goodbye. It was hard, but I had to go. I couldn't stay by his side anymore. And my sister and my mother said that it's okay. We take care of Dad. My mom and my dad had many discussions during this time. They've been together for a little bit more than 50 years at the time. Not much. On the 3rd of October, my father said to my mom, "It's time for me to go. It's time for me to leave. I don't want to leave. I want to experience the 50th anniversary of our wedding together, but it's time for me to go." And he said goodbye to my mother. He said goodbye and I love you. And my mother got to say goodbye and I love you to my father. My father had decided that it was time for him to go. He had to leave. He had somewhere else to go. That night, my dad died. I got the telephone call. I flew back to Sweden, and I helped with everything that needs to be arranged. I already said my goodbyes to my father, so I saw no reason to see his dead body, to see his corpse. I already told him that I love him and that I had to go. I was at peace with myself. I knew that I've done everything in my power to make his last moments as beautiful as possible. It's hard to leave. It's really, really hard to leave. But sometimes you just have to. And when somebody leaves you like that, it must be okay for man, woman, and child to cry. Thank you.